Dear Jason and Dee, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday listening to Mariah Carey Christmas songs for whatever it was we did wrong.
But we think you're crazy to make us produce a Patreon episode telling you who we think we are.
You see us as you want to see us.
In the simplest terms.
In the most convenient definitions.
But what we found out
is that each of us is apples and oranges.
A film by
Docking Bay 77.
Cinematic flashback.
And 30-something movie podcast.
Does that answer your question?
Sincerely yours, The Shirley League.
The Shirley League.
The Shirley League.
Don't you
forget about us.
That is fan freaking
That's
fantastic.
freaking genius.
I'm like, I got a little liquid joy coming out of my eye right now. Guys, thank you so much.
It's Mount Rushmore right there.
It really is. That was all of our podcasting friends who have become just our friends over the last 6 years. Guys, we're at the end of our 6th season, and Merry Christmas. Thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us through all of this. I can't believe the amount of friendships and incredibly fun times that we've had with people just because of this crazy idea that we had back in 2019.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. Special shout out to Def Dave, who actually organized that, got everybody together and recorded that. Thank you. So that's
a film by Apples and Oranges, Docking Bay 77, 30-something movie podcast. Did I forget one?
Cinematic Flashback.
And Cinematic Flashback. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
That means a lot. That's really cool.
It really does. So, guys, that obviously was a take on the last lines from the movie The Breakfast Club. The other most memorable line... Well, we're going to talk about 2 movies today. One with the line, when you grow up, your heart dies, and the other that proves that to be true.
I am so ready to defend St. Elmo's Fire. It's not even funny.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't wait to get into it.
So, as you know, there are movies in our history as podcasters. There have been movies that I had to go back and see that I did not see at the time. Most memorable at this moment is one we covered at the beginning of this season, Rambo. I watched First Blood and Rambo for the first time in 2025. And like some of the others that I had watched, I thought I needed to be 12 or 13 years old when I saw this. Watching it for the first time as a 49-year-old guy, that's not my bag of tea. And I can confirm that trend with St. Elmo's Fire. I don't want to try to hide it.
Grumpy D... As Jeff Johnson says, Grumpy D is the best D. I'm waiting on a movie that you watch at 50 and go, oh, man, that was awesome. I can't believe I missed that.
So, honestly, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I liked it. I liked Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Commando, I thought it was hilarious. I love Commando.
Okay.
So, they're not all like that, but there is a significant portion, especially if you're trying to be kind of serious, that I'm just like,
all right, we'll get into it later, but my sword is prepared on St. Elmo's Fire, and
for you to fall on.
just hold your horses. Just get ready.
Okay.
But in fairness to St. Elmo's Fire, we are talking about probably an unfair matchup in that The Breakfast Club might be the greatest teen movie of all time.
So I would say if there was a movie that defined Generation X, this would hold the number 1 spot.
Okay.
This movie defined what it was like to be in high school in the 80s, and monumental, perfectly put together. Couldn't have done it better.
I mean, we'll get into the greatness of it, but it was really put together super skillfully with talented directors, actors, and storytelling. I mean, everything came together for that movie.
It really did.
And it's interesting. You have 5 people in a room doing nothing.
It's the lowest budget kind of scenario that you can think of. Although I will say this, I was reading, studying up on John Hughes, and he's got a multitude of scripts that were never produced.
Oh my gosh. I just think about the treasure trove that's out there.
And then
I think about Curly Sue.
Yeah. I mean, you just never know. But one of the films, or one of the scripts that he wrote that people who have read it, and I think even he regarded as his best work, was never made. It's a movie called Oil and Vinegar. It's a lost script. Like, nobody has it that's willing to produce it so far. Was given to Matthew Broderick, was given to Molly Ringwald. It's called Oil and Vinegar, and it's about this guy who's driving cross country to go to his wedding, and he picks up a hitchhiking girl.
She's a bride of a search of a wedding, and
it's really the interchange between those two people, kind of a coming of age type of thing as well, very much like the Breakfast Club, but instead of being 5 people, it's 2 people, and going through this kind of weird transition in life. And then, ultimately they're stuck there at a hotel at some point and have to navigate through that as engaged human being and a pretty young girl. But yeah, that would have been even smaller budget, even closer set type of thing that I would have loved to have seen it. I mean, for him to regard it so highly, for the people who did get to see it to talk about it in such high regard, it's just a shame that thing's gone.
it's interesting that you bring that up because there's another script. It's not hidden, but it was never made, and it's called Young Men with Unlimited Capital. Have you come across that?
No.
Okay. That was supposed to star Emilio Estevez and Andrew McCarthy
Okay.
right after St. Elmo's fire.
Right.
But because of this article that was written in New York Magazine, Brat Packers could no longer work with Brat Packers. They were kind of unhireable for a moment. It was a big impact on their careers. But that movie was going to be about 2 young men, entrepreneurial, who put together the Woodstock Music Festival.
Oh, okay.
And they were from the perspective of the guys who were the investors. I mean, I'm like, man, that
This
sounds
is
like
John
really
Hughes-
cool.
This is John
It
Hughes.
wasn't
script.
John Hughes, but it was Emilio Estevez and Andrew McCarthy.
Okay. So let's talk about that for a minute, because you've got some info on the idea of the Brat Pack, because these 2 movies really, I mean, they're the ones that made that term and applied it to these actors, right?
Yeah.
That it really didn't exist. Like, it didn't exist for 16 Candles, which came out just before this. It was this movie, it was Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire that really cast these people in it, because obviously Rob Lowe was definitely in the Brat Pack group as well and complained about it pigeonholing him into the parts that he could get. But give us some intel on that.
I think it's the story of these 2 movies.
Okay.
To me, it's really interesting the power that this article wielded over these actors.
Yeah.
So you have this guy, his name's David Blum, and he was going to do a piece on Emilio Estevez. And so he was from out of town. Emilio invited him, hey, come out with us. I'm meeting some of the guys. We'll hang out. We'll go to dinner. Well, Emilio Estevez invites Rob Lowe and Judd Nelson to go out to dinner with them. And this guy basically writes a hatchet job article on them as being privileged, jerk, party boys.
Huh.
Like, think about it. If you invited me and 3 other guys out to dinner, and the guy that you invited proceeded to tear us down and created this situation where they were radioactive in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, they went from IT personnel to radioactive overnight because of this article.
It's terrible. Like, I mean, and I mean, obviously I don't know these people. I don't know Rob Lowe personally, and I don't know Emilio Estevez personally, but just in the candid, in their real life personas, they seem like good human beings.
So I read the article. I went and read the article.
Yeah.
The only thing, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah.
It's written from a perspective of somebody who is on the outside looking in.
Right.
So it was tainted with sort of bitterness and jealousy.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the guy is a jerk. I think he's a sour, bitter jerk.
The journalist.
Okay.
Okay.
It had a lot of collateral damage, including guys like Anthony Michael Hall and Andrew McCarthy, who weren't even there that night,
Right.
But basically, you got these guys who are 22 years old and they're running around. Of course, they're talking to women and drinking too much, and they're rich brats.
Yeah. I mean, that's tragic. I mean, they're fortunate enough to have made some money, but they're still 22. Like, that's
right.
What most of us did when we were 22 was talk to girls and drink and hang out and try to have as good a time as you could.
Yeah. And so, think about Ali Sheedy. What did she really do after St. Elmo's fire? Short circuit?
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, I mean, there's some things. There's some more independent things. I don't think she probably was trying to be big cast, honestly. I know that she did a film. I can't remember the name of it afterwards, but I was listening to the Breakfast Club, their reunion when they're all back together, and they said, "What movie of somebody else do you love?" And Molly Ringwald mentioned this movie that I hadn't heard of by Ali Sheedy, that Ali Sheedy was in, that I thought was very sweet. But I just noticed in that forum of people, she was the one that stayed quiet the most. She's kind of the character, the background character, like she was in the Breakfast Club.
Okay. How about Judd Nelson? What has he done since then?
Yeah, not much.
Right?
Yeah.
How about Andrew McCarthy?
Yeah, not much.
I mean, He did do Less Than Zero.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, which was 1987. That's a post Brat Pack article.
Right, but I mean it's kind of the part, like he's playing the part of it sounds like he was written, that it was that bratty, privileged,
and
drugs and alcohol kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right. But you look at, so Emilio Estevez, he had the Young Guns and he had Mighty Ducks and he did a lot of stuff and he's still active.
Yeah.
But compare that to like Rob Lowe, Demi Moore, how about Robert Downey Jr.? I mean, there are guys that came through that were Brat Pack adjacent, flourished on the other side.
Yeah, but they all had a lull. They all had a lull, except for Demi Moore. Demi Moore kind of, she jumped up with, I think, maybe Indecent Proposal. Like that's the first one I remember in the 90s seeing her in, and she'd had some enhancements done and showed them off in that movie, and I think that kind of got her running. And she married a dude that few people knew called Bruce Willis.
I totally agree. I think the thing that got her over the hump, so to speak, is that she graduated from sort of kiddish, not kids, but young people movies, into more mature movies because she was willing to show her skin.
A little bit.
All right. Well, let's get into it, man. Breakfast Club versus St. Elmo's Fire. Here we are, ground zero for the Brat Pack.
So I was trying to think, how many John Hughes movies have we talked about? Because at one point we had done the podcast for something like 4 years, and I was like, how do we have an 80s podcast and not have talked about John Hughes? But now we've knocked a few out. So we've done Regular Vacation, we've done Christmas Vacation, we've done Home Alone.
We've done Weird Science.
Weird Science was earlier this year, right?
It was.
Okay, so that's 4. So this is our 5th John Hughes movie to talk about, I think.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
And
yes, go ahead.
May I add?
Yeah.
We have on the schedule Ferris Bueller's Day Off for next season.
Yeah.
Really, how can you not do an 80s podcast to talk about Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Exactly.
And then we've got Pretty in Pink versus Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah.
On the schedule.
I would love at some point for us to do Planes, Trains, and Automobiles versus Uncle Buck, probably.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, we can do all the John Hughes movies. I don't
16
care.
Candles?
I will do Curly Sue. I don't care. So I think that I've talked about this before, but I'll do a short bit on John Hughes history, right?
Right.
So grew up moving from place to place, just when he felt like he would make friends, his dad would move them to some new place. And then he starts high school in Chicago for the first time in Chicago. Kind of a nerdy kid, but he manages to get a cheerleader. I looked at her picture. She's pretty cute.
She's an attractive lady. Yep.
She is. So they move and he gets a job doing advertising work. He's writing jokes for Rodney Dangerfield and Joan Rivers.
That's right.
And then he gets a job he's doing that copyright work, doing the copy work. He comes up with and you and I both need this right now, right? We got the winter facial hair going on. But you remember back in the day, they had the shaving commercial where the guy would rub the credit card and it was like, and it was smooth. That was John Hughes's creation. But he also, he had Virginia Slims in his account, which led him to their building, which also was the same building that National Lampoon was in. And so he met those guys. He started writing stuff for them. That, of course, spirals into the first swing was a miss. It was a National Lampoon's class reunion. They tried to do a redo of the
I saw
Animal
that
House.
movie
Yeah.
way back when.
Yeah.
And I remember I was way too young to be watching it.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking this movie is appalling. It was naughty, but it was also like gross.
Okay.
So
that one, swing and a miss.
Yep.
But then we do National Lampoon Vacation, and he knocks it out of the park.
Sure.
And then he follows that up with Mr. Mom.
Right.
Another one we've been talking about. We've been talking about doing that movie for like 4 years now.
We have literally since season 1.
But those 2 movies get him a 3-picture deal with Universal. And the first movie that he is going to make is Breakfast Club. And then he has a July 4th weekend as he's prepping to make Breakfast Club, and he decides to write a movie called 16 Candles.
Yeah.
In a weekend.
I know.
I can't believe this. They f***ing forgot my birthday.
The guy is a prolific writer.
Yes. And so he comes to Universal and he's like, okay, I got my second movie. Here it is. It's called 16 Candles. They read it and they say, we want to do this one first. We're not so sure about this kids in detention all day long thing.
Right.
This is a, sexy, raunchy, funny kids in high school thing. We think this is going to work. And it does. Obviously it works.
It does.
Now, here's the thing. So he's finishing that as they're beginning Breakfast Club. Okay. So they come in for their read. Like everybody's been cast and they come in for their first table read. Well, Emilio Estevez didn't know that they were supposed to come in for a table read, and he had his wisdom teeth taken out, like all 4 of them, impacted wisdom teeth taken out the day before.
Oh, wow.
And so like
Okay.
he's home. I don't know if did you have your wisdom teeth taken out?
I did.
It's not pleasant.
I barfed in a parking lot on the way home.
And you don't feel good for a couple days after,
yeah,
right?
it was terrible.
And so he's on pain meds. He's suffering from all 4 of these things coming out. And he gets a call from his agent, and they're like, hey, you got to go over and do the table read. He's like, I just had my wisdom teeth taken out. So he goes over, he slugs through the table read, and then John Hughes is like, I finally got the final cut of 16 Candles. You guys, come on, we're going to go watch it. And so Emilio Estevez says, I remember seeing the opening credits, and I closed my eyes, and then I opened my eyes, and there was the closing credits. and Judd Nelson nudges him and goes, I think you just got fired.
Hey, how come Andrew gets to go to sleep? If Andrew goes to sleep, we'll all go to sleep. It'll be anarchy. Hey, I did have a great quote from John Hughes. Okay. And he was talking about how he went from the writer, like the screenwriter for Mr. Mom and Vacation. You know, Vacation was directed by Harold Ramis, right? So he talked to, I don't know which director he talked to, but that director told him, if they fire you, we make the movie. If they fire me, we don't make the movie. And he's like, good information. Yeah. That's why he wanted to be a director so bad.
Exactly. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So Breakfast Club, you've got these 5 main characters and you get 2 extra characters. Okay. And I know that we're going to talk about casting here in a minute, so I'm trying not to jump into that. Right. But Allie and Emilio and Judd were the only ones that were like old enough to go out. Like Molly and Anthony Michael Hall were both teenagers.
They were.
Right? Like 16. Yeah. They're 16 years old. Yeah. They were doing school during the day while they're filming and not doing things at night because they're not old enough to. So I know that Emilio and Judd tried to go out one night. I think it was a failed attempt. Like they went to bar after bar and people were just like not interested in they were not the Brat Pack yet.
Right. Well, interestingly enough, the article, the Brat Pack article, the guy made mention that Judd would become very impatient at the club. So like, okay, he's dancing. Nobody comes up to him. This place sucks. We're out of here.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So, and apparently Allie just stayed in her room. She was old enough to go out, but she's like, no, I'm good. She very much seems to be her character.
She seems like the type of person who is happy to crawl up with a book.
Yeah.
Be fine.
Maybe not the type of person to make love in the shower on a coffin with her pearls still on for 5 scenes.
I told you. We'll get to it. That was the most unsexy lovemaking scene that I can remember in an 80s movie.
So let's just talk about it now, okay?
Yeah.
Because you told me that, and then I watched it for the first time, and I warned the person that I was with. I'm like, this is coming. Just be ready for it. And we watched it, and we're like, well, she's still got her pearls on, and she's still got her pearls on. And there they are, still on. Like, I just have to think those are going to either come off, fall off, or be torn off at some point in that process. But they were not. Pearls the whole time. But it wasn't awful. It wasn't awful. It was just kind of...
Well, it seemed like they were directed like Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay, attack her like a linebacker. I'm like, dude...
It's as though the guy giving them direction was unfamiliar with what heterosexual sex was like.
It's a fair point. I will say this, though.
Okay, Andrew, I have got a costume for you. It's got the nipples right on it.
We have talked about Joel Schumacher already. Go back to our Batman and Robin and
the Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys.
Then, okay, so let's keep talking about this. So we got Joel Schumacher for St. Elmo's Fire, wrote and directed that movie.
Yes.
And yes, we have talked about him before. As a reminder, he was doing window dressings in some department store, and Woody Allen saw his department store and said, I want you to come do costumes for my movie.
It's insane.
And that's how he gets into the entertainment industry, does Car Wash, does The Incredible Shrinking Woman, and then that somehow spirals into The Lost Boys and, well, this movie.
It is amazing. When you say that out loud to me, he was decorating windows at a department store and later is in charge of the Batman franchise.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I told you, I'm like, I feel like he's a home run or strikeout guy. Like, he doesn't have very many.
And we started to go through the list, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, this movie isn't a strikeout at the time, but I don't feel, I mean, I say with confidence, it does not stand the test of time. Like, there may be people who fell in love with it back then who watch it and they're like, oh, yes. And they have the memories and it's all good again. But I'm telling you, anybody who's didn't see this back in the 1980s, who then comes across it later on, is going to be like, this is horrible.
Okay.
This is horrible.
I'm just mounting my first line of defense here, okay? Because I will argue, number one, this is a touchstone movie in the 1980s, okay? And granted, my perspective is different because I saw it 100 times when I was 12 years old.
Right.
And so it was aspirational for me to eventually go to college and fall in love with somebody and get start chasing a career and doing things with my life and becoming who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
You saw it after all that stuff had happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is a different perspective.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you, St. Elmo's Fire, I believe, gave birth to one of the most popular television shows of all time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I can't make a direct line to this.
Okay.
But it is my thought that even maybe subliminally, this created the TV show Friends.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I mean, I can see that. I mean, because you essentially, I mean, it's 4 girls and 3 guys in the movie instead of 3 girls and 3 guys, but it's that same kind of we've just arrived to adulthood. We're just trying to figure out how to be grown-ups instead of being kids again. I can see that.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I don't know if you're right or not, but I think that's a fair guess.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay. So Joel Schumacher makes this thing, and it's a polarizing movie. Like, even the critics they love it or they hate it.
Right.
But the populace at large loves it.
So once again, because I remember that summer of '85, the music video for St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion, John Parr, was on every third time on MTV.
Okay, so I'm going to push pause on what you're saying for just a second. Okay, everybody. So in our normal episodes, if there's an iconic song, we're going to talk about that song during an episode. And in this particular scenario, we have 2 movies that each have an iconic song. But as it turns out, we have already covered both of those songs, and we've covered them on our Patreon page. So, teaser here, if you want to hear the full backstory on Don't You Forget About Me, go to our Patreon page, sign up. It's free to sign up. You can hear the episode for as little as $5 a month. You could sign up for 1 month, pay us $5. You get both of these episodes. $2.50 an episode. Can't beat that. Couldn't even rent these movies back in 1987.
That's true. That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And so go check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/surelypodcast. And you can hear the Man in Motion one. You can hear the Don't You Forget About Me. I'm pointing because you did that one. I did that one.
Yep.
Also, guys, just open the merch store.
The merch store.
It's been a long time coming. I fought with Etsy until I couldn't fight anymore. I waved the white flag and I said, fine, no more Etsy. We went with Shopify. So we've got a Shopify page. We'll put the link in our YouTube clip and in the show notes for the podcast episodes. So be sure, go to our merch store. You can get a shirt cool like this. We've got them in both varying colors. I want to say shout out to Chris Weber, one of our longtime fans and Patreon members. He asked for one in blue. I said, okay, I can make that happen. We made one in blue, and I'm like, dang, that's better than the black and the white, I think. So we've got them in blue, we've got them in black, got them in white, maybe a couple other colors out there. We've got sweatshirts that you can get. Shameless plug, put my band t-shirt on there. So if you want an STD t-shirt, you definitely can get one there as well. We've already sold a boatload of those, actually. That was a pretty quick sale. Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah, exciting. Anyway.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
Before you move on,
Yes.
first of all, today is Chris Weber's birthday. Chris, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday. Also, This is totally true. You can get a Surely You Can't Be Serious 2-piece black bikini for your, stocking stuffer.
Hey,
For your loved one.
get them now. It's winter. It's not season. They're cheap, and they look good.
I mean, if you want guys to pay attention to you, Surely You Can't Be Serious.
I'm telling you, your wife puts on the Shirley Can't Be Serious bikini. You guys might not make it to the beach.
Oh my gosh. Back on Joel Schumacher for just a second.
Okay, yep.
I don't want to go through his entire career, but you were talking about whether or not it's either a home run or a strikeout, right? So I was just kind of looking at him, DC Cab was kind of it had Mr. T. I wanted to like it. It has Bill Maher in it.
As a little kid, I liked it.
Okay.
I mean, but it was one of those ones that was on HBO or Cinemax
was.
or whatever a lot. So it was just like, to me, just funny. I just was too young to understand what good movies were back then.
What do you think about Incredible Shrinking Woman?
I loved it. And it would come on all the time. I mean, it would come on like ABC all the time.
I love that movie too.
I would watch it again right now. I would watch The Incredible Shrinking Woman every day and twice on Sunday before I ever watched St. Elmo's Fire again.
Wow. I love Incredible Shrinking Woman. And Lily Tomlin was super funny.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay, The Lost Boys.
Yeah,
Home
wonderful.
run, right?
For sure, yeah.
Best vampire movie of the 80s?
I agree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you have the movie like Falling Down.
Great movie.
It's fun, right? Well, it's not really fun. It's interesting.
Yeah, but iconic. Like it was changing things at that point. It was a major thing, yeah.
Flatliners.
I loved it back in the day. I don't know if it's still good. It's been 30-something years since I've seen it, but
I will put this out there that Joel Schumacher, for every 2 good things he does, it's kind of one drawback.
okay.
So like Flatliners, you're like, wow, this is an interesting story, and these people suck.
Yeah.
So,
So you kind of mentioned that they're all flawed characters, right? And he talks about in this movie, he wrote this movie, he based it on his circle of friends, and and at some point, one of the studio executives reading the script said, "This is the most loathsome group of people I've ever read in my life." I'm like, yeah, those are my best friends.
Right.
So that does make it kind of awkward. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I just had an inspiration. Flatliners.
Yeah.
I'll tell a story and then I'm going to bring it back to Flatliners. All right. So we also have talked, I think season 1 or season 2, we did Bull Durham versus Major League.
Yes, we did.
Did you know that Anthony Michael Hall was supposed to play Nuke LaLoosh?
Nuke LaLoosh, that's right.
And he says, I effed that up. I was a cocky kid and I messed that part. I messed getting that part up.
Ron Shelton couldn't stand him.
Right.
And that's what,
So as Tim Robbins got that part, of
Yes,
course.
right.
And then he later did a movie called Jacob's Ladder. Have you ever seen that movie?
I have.
I really feel like Flatliners and Jacob's Ladder might be the perfect matchup. Like, I don't want to give away the ending to Jacob's Ladder for anybody who hasn't seen it, but it's kind of the same idea of what happens when you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Just put a pin in that.
Okay. So Schumacher also does a couple of pretty good John Grissom movies, right? He does The Client, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And he does A Time to Kill, which I thought was very
Amazing.
good, right?
And Matthew McConaughey's breakout movie.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, he does Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Both very bad. Very bad. There are several other bad movies in what he's done too, but I don't need to bring those up.
Batman Forever, I would argue, has things in common with St. Elmo's Fire.
Okay.
You have charismatic people. You have a couple of great songs, music videos,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of flash, but just not tons of substance.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any better, and I thought they were great
Yeah.
at the time.
I could see that. Speaking of Batman Forever, please go check out the 30-something movie podcast. They just covered Batman Forever, and it was hysterical.
It was.
It was really good.
Yes.
Okay, so we understand how these two movies came to be, both written and directed by well-known
Very,
writers,
very
directors.
successful writers and directors of the 80s.
Yes. But let's talk about casting, because it's huge for both of these movies.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's start with Breakfast Club.
of course. Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall did not have to audition.
Well, because they got the job while they were working on 16 Candles.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting things here. So Molly Ringwald became John Hughes's go-to girl until she wasn't.
You know, I have just as many feelings as you do, and it hurts just as much when somebody steps all over them.
We had 16 Candles,
Breakfast Club,
Breakfast Club,
Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink.
And
then she kind of laid down the law and said, I'm breaking away and doing my own thing. And that really hurt his feelings.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Anthony Michael Hall is the exact same thing. Ferris Bueller's Day Off was supposed to be Anthony Michael Hall, and he was like, no, I'm going to go do Out of Bounds.
I know. And I've done a podcast on Out of Bounds with Jeff Johnson. Go over to the Film by Podcast. Check that out. That movie's not good.
Yep.
Okay. Anthony Michael Hall.
Chicks cannot hold their smoke. That's what it is.
Okay.
He had done Vacation.
14
He's,
years old.
He's amazing. He's
Great.
funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he holds his own with Chevy Chase.
He does.
And then, of course, he does 16 Candles, and he steals the show in 16
100%.
Candles. Farmer Ted.
I'm not really a farmer. I'm a freshman.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. John Hughes said, if Anthony didn't do Breakfast Club, I wouldn't have made it.
Wow.
How strong is that?
That's very strong. Now, it's interesting because of those characters, he to me is kind of the back. I mean, if you're picking, it's really about all 5 of them, but he's kind of the background guy to me.
He's kind of the glue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's just, it's not Farmer Ted at all, right?
Farmer Ted's very out there, kind of
Right.
out front. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he plays also, we should say, he's the brain.
What do you need a fake ID for?
So I can vote.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy who writes the letter to Mr. Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
Also, do you remember his crime for detention?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, we probably need to talk about their quote unquote school sins.
Okay.
He brings a flare gun to school because he failed a shop project.
Kind of idiot doesn't know how to make a lamp.
What do you know about trigonometry?
Without trigonometry, we wouldn't have
Bridges.
Without lamps, we wouldn't have light.
Stupid elephant trunk. So, did you know at the beginning of the movie, when he pulls up to the school and you have the mom and the sister there, and mom's reaming him out saying, Mister, you find a way to study. That's his actual mother.
I did not know that until you told me yesterday. Yes.
Her name is Mercedes Hall.
Okay.
His sister is that little girl.
Yeah.
Mary Christian is her name.
Mary Christian Hall.
She's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Hughes thought, what better way to get the authentic mother-son
Yeah.
than have actual mother and son?
And then the dad picks him up at the end of the movie, and the dad is
John
Hughes.
Hughes. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect nerd dad.
He's got those kind of
Circle glasses.
big glasses. He does rock the mullet. I love his rockin' mullet, man.
Yep. He
Okay.
looks like a guy who's trying real hard.
Let's talk about Molly Ringwald.
You know how popular I am. I'm so popular. Everybody loves me so much at this school.
Poor baby.
Okay.
So she had been the star of 16 Candles. I don't know if you know this or not. She had been in Facts of Life.
I do remember that. Yeah. She was one of the younger girls in Facts of Life. I didn't think about it until you just said it, but now that you say it, yeah, I remember that. She had the very, I don't remember, mushroom kind of haircut.
It's kind of interesting to think what would have happened if Blair or Joe or Tootie had kind of slid into that role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which obviously was possible. Molly filled that spot.
Yeah.
So she stars as Samantha in 16 Candles. John Hughes falls in love with her and says, "You're my girl."
Right.
So he had her and him in his back pocket going in.
Yeah.
Okay? Ali Sheedy had done War Games.
War Games, yeah.
Which we had talked about.
When you grow up, your heart dies.
Who cares?
I care.
Ali Sheedy did War Games. She did a movie called Bad Boys, which starred Sean Penn.
Okay.
And she had also been in Oxford Blues, which had Rob Lowe. So you kind of have some early Brat Pack stuff going on there.
Okay.
And John Hughes brings her in, and she's going to be the outcast, the weirdo, the basket case.
Yeah. He said she said when he brought her in, he didn't have her read. He just talked to her. And I imagine he probably did this with most of them, but just talked to her about the character and some ideas, and they exchanged, and, she gave him her thoughts, and that was how she got cast. Never read a line and got cast. I'm not sure if the baloney throw was her idea. Or his idea.
The dandruff on the drawing. By the way, do you know what she claims is her biggest contribution to the Breakfast Club? Like her proudest moment in the Breakfast Club? The David Bowie quote at the beginning of the movie, where it comes directly from the song Changes.
Yeah.
That was Ali Sheed's idea.
And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes.
Wow. That is
She's like,
solid.
that is my proudest thing associated with Breakfast Club.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. No, that's really good. I would feel the same way. That's fantastic.
Right. And just while we're on it, so you have the David Bowie quote at the beginning of the movie, and then you have the exploding glass, and then it's Saturday morning, March 23rd, 1984, whatever. You have a really cool setup for the movie.
Yeah.
I would argue that St. Elmo's Fire has an incredible beginning of the movie as well. So you have the love theme, you have these 7 friends, they're all wearing their cap and gown, they're graduating, they're happy, they're just thrilled to be there. And then you hear the sound of a car crash, like koosh, and then they're running into the emergency room.
Yeah.
Both of these movies are set up right off the bat. You already know what's going on, where we are.
One's going to take place in a school. The other one is a car crash.
I can't wait to get into it, man. Okay. Let's talk about Emilio Estevez.
Okay.
It's you and me. 2 hits. Me hitting you, you hitting the floor. Anytime you're ready, pal.
Of course, we know him. We talked about him a lot on the Young Guns episode we did. We did Young Guns 2, and Tombstone.
Right.
Kind of a 3-way.
Yeah.
By the way, just for the record, he was made to be Billy the Kid.
I know that they're this year have been involved in filming in New Mexico for Guns
3.
Yeah, whatever. It's not Young anymore. The Young is all shot up, but Guns 3, yeah.
You know what else they're also doing?
No.
St. Elmo's Fire 2.
Are they really?
You didn't know that?
I did not know
Yes. They are actively pursuing
that.
St. Elmo's Fire Part 2.
Jeez Louise.
So Emilio Estevez.
Are they all dead? Because that's where it looked like it was headed.
No, but that just as a side, the Brats documentary that I watched was directed by Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things is he's reaching out to all these people, trying to talk to them.
Yeah.
And he talks to Ali Sheedy, he talks to Emilio Estevez. He talks to David Blum, the guy who wrote the article.
Oh.
He talks to Malcolm Gladwell. Like he goes to all these interesting people.
Okay, yeah.
But the one guy he can't track down, Molly Ringwald turns him down. She, I wish she wouldn't have. I would have loved to have heard from her.
Right.
The one guy he can't track down is Judd, like Judd Nelson. Is impossible to get a hold of. Like he doesn't know, didn't have his number. His agent, like they can't reach him. And literally the last scene after he's met with, Emilio and Allie and Rob Lowe and Demi Moore, and he sits down with the author and he kind of makes peace with the guy who wrote the article. The very last scene of the documentary, his phone rings after all this is over. The phone rings. He goes, "Hello?" He goes, "Judd." And it crashes in. "Don't you forget about me." It's so good.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got a funny story with Emilio Estevez. Okay. So he had done Repo Man. He, of course, had done The Outsiders. He had done Tex, which.
Yeah. But my sister-in-law was on the back of a motorcycle with him in that movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
So a strong S.E. Hinton background there. And, of course, we've talked about The Outsiders and Rumblefish. Those are both kind of Brat Pack adjacent movies.
Sure.
And so Emilio Estevez's dad, Martin Sheen,
Yeah.
I thought this was funny. John Capellos, who plays the janitor, he plays Carl in Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
He was trying to break the ice with the young actors one day, and he was telling them, "Hey, guys, listen, this isn't rocket science. There's no need to get too uptight about this stuff. In fact, one dumb actor, Martin Sheen, got so into Apocalypse Now, he had a heart attack, and Emilio was like livid about that comment.
Yeah, of course.
And like John Capellos is still talking about this to this day. He's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. That was so stupid. I had no idea that was his son." And so Emilio really was really, really mad at him.
Yeah.
Well, John Capellas worked with Martin Sheen, I think, on The West Wing years later.
Okay.
And he told Martin Sheen that story, and Martin thought it was hilarious. So I thought that was a great story.
It is. It's a very good story.
Yes.
By the way, what was the actor's name?
John Capellas.
John Capellas was the oily bohunk fiance groom, married in 16 Candles.
He was. He also plays kind of the sleazy guy in Roxanne, which is another movie I'd love to talk about.
And he's one of the guys in the bar in Weird Science. He's like the pimp looking guy.
He is.
Yeah.
What are you doing with a malacca like this?
I guess she's into malacca.
That's it. Judd Nelson was the last guy hired.
Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Okay, now here's the interesting thing. So Emilio Estevez was originally supposed to be Bender. Stop and think about that for a second. That doesn't fit at all.
No, it doesn't.
So they bring in Judd Nelson, who had been in a 80s kind of a B movie called Making the Grade. Did you ever see that one?
No.
Okay, not a great movie.
Okay.
Bring him in, but he has a level of menace to him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's violent in some ways, you know?
Yeah.
And he stayed in character so much so, Molly Ringwald's mom had to get involved and went to John Hughes and said, this guy will not leave my daughter alone. He's making inappropriate comments to her. He's 25 years old. She's 16.
Claire, you want to see a picture of a guy with elephantitis of the nuts? It's pretty tasty.
No, thank you.
How do you think he rides a bike? Oh, Claire, would you ever consider dating a guy like this?
Can't you just leave me alone?
I mean, if he had a great personality, was a good dancer, and had a cool car. Although you'd probably have to ride in the back seat because his nuts would ride shotgun.
And so John Hughes is like, he's gone. I'm firing his butt. That's bullcrap. I can't have him abusing our lead actress. Paul Gleason, the guy who plays Mr. Vernon, says, no, you can't. This guy has got this character down so well, and he's a young guy. Just tell him to back off. You cannot let this guy go. He's way too important. And of course, Paul Gleason and John Bender, their back and forth is the crux of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Eat my shorts.
What was that?
Eat my shorts.
You just bought yourself another Saturday, mister.
Crushed.
You just bought one more right there.
Well, I'm free the Saturday after that. Beyond that, I'm gonna have to check my calendar.
Good! Because it's gonna be filled. We'll keep going. You want another one? Say the word. Just say the word. Instead of going to prison, you'll come here. Are you through?
No.
I'm doing society a favor.
So?
That's another one right now. I've got you for the rest of your natural born life if you don't watch your step. You want another one?
Yes.
You got it. You got another one right there. That's another one, pal.
Cut it out.
He was this close to firing Judd Nelson.
That's great. And apparently Judd Nelson would also antagonize Paul Gleason throughout the movie.
Well, sure.
So do you know the story behind how Paul Gleason got hired?
No, I don't.
Okay. So we talked about in...
Trading Places?
Yes, we talked about Paul Gleason in Trading Places.
Yeah.
But we also talked about Anthony Michael Hall. When we were talking about Weird Science, we talked about how he had been, like John Hughes was so, like they were so tight that when they did 16 Candles, he's like, okay, well, like, you know, I've got these guys as potential best friends. Who do you want? So he picked the best friend. So he picked John Cusack. He's responsible for John Cusack's first real role.
That's amazing.
So anyway, he's got this script. They're working on it. Anthony Michael Hall loves Eddie Murphy. He goes and watches Trading Places, gets done with it, and he goes to John Hughes and he's like, you got to see this movie. The guy they had originally planned to play Vice Principal, whatever, Vernon, thank you, was Coach from Cheers. That was, yes. I mean, how wrong would that have been, right?
No way.
And so that was the plan. But then Anthony Michael Hall says to John Hughes, you got to go watch Trading Places. I think there's a guy in it who would be a much better Vernon. And that's how Paul Gleason gets that part. Now, Paul Gleason and Anthony Michael Hall become friends after this. A couple years later, they go watch the Tyson Reggie Gross fight that like he knocked him out the first round, of course.
Right.
You know,
Right.
And Anthony Michael Hall is watching the fight. He's still a teenager, I think, at this point, right?
Sure.
And super excited. And all of a sudden, Mike's, walking out of the ring, and Mike's like, "You're my favorite actor." And he says they become friends. They hang out. They still text each other. They've gone on a double date before. It's Anthony Michael Hall and Mike Tyson are buddies.
That is crazy.
Because Paul Gleason, who knows Anthony Michael Hall because he got him the part in Breakfast Club, took him to watch the Tyson fight.
So I looked into Paul Gleason a little bit. We've talked about him. He was in Trading Places. And, of course, he's in Die Hard. Detective Dwayne Robinson.
Dwayne T. Robinson.
I'm not the one who just got
butt
Dwayne. So he is awesome in these movies as being kind of the lovable, hateable guy, Yeah. He was a professional baseball player.
Oh, I can actually see that.
In the Cleveland Indians organization.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I looked, man, he was a jock.
I can see it.
Expected more from a varsity letterman. Okay.
Does Barry Manilow know you raid his wardrobe?
Give you the answer to that question, Mr. Bitter, next Saturday. Don't mess with the bull, young man. You get the horns. All right, I've got some alternate universe stuff for you, okay?
Okay. Everybody loves the Colvin alternate universe stories.
Okay. All right. Here's your alternate John Bender, okay?
Yeah.
These are actors who almost got this part. And we talked about Emilio Estevez. I don't think he would be right for it. He's not imposing enough. He's 5'6".
On height, Judd Nelson talked about how this not only was the perfect movie for its time, they filmed it at the perfect time because at the beginning of the movie, he was big enough to be an actual threat to Anthony Michael Hall. By the time the movie was over, Anthony Michael Hall was the same height as him. By the time they were back in doing their dub line read-ins, he was taller.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Edward Scissorhands comes out and he's the jock, but.
Yeah, he is.
But yes, Anthony Michael Hall grew of like a solid 6 inches during the production of The Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Okay. So here's your alternate Benders.
Yeah.
Nick Cage.
Maybe.
He's kooky enough. He might be able to pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, he had done Valley Girl at that point. So maybe,
Rumblefish.
Maybe. Yeah. Let's not talk about that one. Okay.
But the other one, the big one, John Cusack. Like he was literally like he thought he had it. And they came to him, like Judd Nelson comes in at the last second.
Yeah.
He acts like a jerk in the audition. He pisses everybody off in the audition. He comes in, he's wearing the flannel and the jean jacket and the boots
wearing
and
the clothes. Yeah.
He's doing the whole thing and he rubs everybody the wrong way. And then they realize, well, that's who this guy is. Right.
Yeah.
So the casting director went to John Cusack, who up to that point had done 16 Candles and maybe Better Off Dead, which we talked about earlier this year.
Yeah.
Neither one of those is he tough. Now he's a kickboxer. We know he's a kickboxer in real life.
Okay.
But went to him and said, sorry, we went a different direction. And they said, but we got you a plane ticket home. He's like, and he stomped out, was mad,
Yeah.
really, really mad because he thought he had it.
Yeah.
Can you see Bender and John Cusack?
No.
I think Judd Nelson nails this part.
So you mentioned that he wore the clothes in, and those were
the
his
fingerless gloves.
Those were his clothes. He said his mom would constantly, when he was walking out of the house, she'd be like, "Would you tuck in your shirt and tie your shoes, please?" And then, of course, his look, inspired so everybody started trying to dress like that because everybody wanted to be John Bender after that movie came out. And she's like, "Oh, great. You just started a fad of sloppiness."
Is it fair to say that his costume
influenced the grunge? You bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so too,
You
right?
bet.
Look at Eddie Vedder in 91.
Yeah.
Does he look like John Bender?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay. By the way, another person that they had in mind, possibly, Alan Ruck. Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
No.
No. I'm going to say no to that one as well.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
He wasn't even tough as a cowboy in Young Guns.
Yeah, right?
He just was nerdy.
You took my farm, Mr. Chisholm. Okay. The possible alternate to John Capellos, Carl, who I think he does a great job.
Sure.
How does one become a janitor?
You want to be a janitor?
No, I just want to know how one becomes a janitor, because Andrew here is very interested in pursuing a career in the custodial arts.
Oh, really? You guys think I'm just some untouchable peasant, sir? Peon, you know? Maybe so. But following a broom around after heads like you for the last 8 years, I've learned a couple of things. I looked through your letters, looked through your lockers. I listen to your conversations. You don't know that, but I do. I am the eyes and ears of this institution, my friends. By the way, that clock's 20 minutes fast.
Is Rick Moranis.
Too big. Yeah, he's too big an actor.
He wasn't the right fit.
Yeah.
Remember in Ghostbusters, Rick Moranis' character, Louis Sully, had been originally played by John Candy.
Right.
Right?
Well, Candy got offered the part. Yeah.
They wanted him to do it, and he wanted to do it with like a heavy German accent.
Right.
And they're like, no, not interested.
Yeah.
And so he said, bring in my buddy Rick Moranis. Well, in this movie, they wanted Rick Moranis, who wanted to do the janitor job as a Russian immigrant and do a heavy Russian accent. And they went, no. John Capellos.
Subtle genius in this one. He really is.
He's the eyes and ears of that institution.
But I mean, he's just so laid back, just so nothing bothers him. He knows how to deal with these kids.
He's the one like giving wisdom. Like, come on, Fern.
Yeah.
These kids didn't change. You changed, right?
$50. What?
What are you going to do for me?
You got $50?
Yeah. Some people miss this, but at the very beginning, like the opening credits of this movie,
yeah,
it shows that high school, Shermer, Illinois high school, man of the year, and it's Carl.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's the janitor.
Right.
I did see a meme the other day, and it was like, as a kid, I thought, what a low life Carl is. And then as an adult, I'm like, let's see, he works at a public school. He doesn't have to deal with anybody. He's got public benefits.
He's got the dream life.
All he does is pick up trash. And yeah.
Yeah, that is freaking hilarious.
Okay, I've got a couple of alternate actresses who were up for the Claire part.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Claire, that character's name was originally not Claire.
Oh.
It was Kathy.
I will be careful not to say that Kathy is not a fat girl's name.
I know, right? My wife's name is Kathy. But anytime I meet a girl named Claire, bing, Claire's a fat girl's name.
Yeah.
Okay, so here are your alternate Claires.
Yeah.
/ Kathys.
Yeah.
Robin Wright was a possible,
Sure.
prom queen.
Yeah. I mean,
are you kidding me?
She's probably the same age, right? I mean, that she was very young in
She was.
Princess Bride, which was 4 years later, 3 years later.
2 years later.
87?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Jodie Foster. Prom queen?
No.
I don't think so either.
That's wrong.
Okay. How about Laura Dern?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And she was young enough at the time. I think she had been in Mask, was 85. Diane Lane.
What? No.
Yes, of course, Diane Lane.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Cherry Valance?
I was thinking of Diane Keaton. Yes, Diane Lane would be great.
Diane Keaton, no. Diane Lane, yes.
That's good. Yes. I would yes to Diane Lane. She's perfect for it. Yeah. Okay, so we've got alternate universe of Diane Lane as Claire.
Yep.
And who was our best option for Bender? I don't think I heard one that I thought was good. Nobody. John Cusack, right?
I mean, Emilio Estevez, John Cusack, Nick Cage.
Yeah. Okay. And we don't really have any alternates for the jock.
No alternates for the jock.
And then no alternates for the geek.
Nope. He wasn't going to make the movie if Anthony Michael Hall didn't do it.
I can tell you the alternate for
Allison?
The basket case, Allison, yeah.
What?
Molly Ringwald. She wanted to play that part.
Really?
Yeah, she did.
Really?
There you go.
How about that?
That'd be a different movie.
That would be a very different movie.
And honestly, if you've got Diane Lane as the prom queen, Molly Ringwald does look like the second helping. Okay, so before we leave, we got to talk about this. Okay, we got to talk about this real quick. Molly Ringwald and Ali Sheedy. You asked me on the phone if I thought that Ali Sheedy was attractive, And I said, yes, I do think that she's attractive. And then I said, I think she's more attractive before the makeover than after the makeover. And you're like, oh, you're one of those.
Yeah. Okay. There are a group of people out there that think she looks better before the makeover.
Because she does.
These are the same people who think Sandy in Greece, they missed the whole point of the "You're the One I Want" video. That's the makeover is what makes it cool. It makes it fun. It makes it exciting.
I get it, but it just didn't work in this. I mean, she didn't put on spray on pants. She put on a hair bow. I mean, she looked ridiculous. Number one, she had too much makeup on.
She gets all the out of her eyes.
I like that. And
she
I like
pulls her hair back.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like it all combed and Cupid doll.
You like the Parmesan cheese and the?
That didn't appear except on the sandwich.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I mean, or on the painting or
Right,
whatever.
right.
No. Yeah. I definitely think she's better looking as a kind of messy, too much eye makeup, not any other makeup girl. I like that better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to die on this hill, but Ali Sheedy doesn't do a lot for me personally.
Well, Molly Ringwald does 0 for me. So how do you feel about Molly Ringwald? No,
not much.
Yeah,
not much.
So I mean, you swap those parts and you do a better job of putting makeup on Ali Sheedy. I'm going to go, yeah, that makes more sense to me. She to me has more. I mean, she has a more beautiful face than Molly Ringwald does.
If you move Molly Ringwald to Allison,
you
put Diane Lane as Claire,
right?
That's a net positive.
Yeah, that would work.
In a perfect movie,
yeah,
you're upgrading, I think.
Yeah, right.
By the way, do you know who Karen Lee Hopkins is?
I have no idea who that is.
Karen Lee Hopkins made it all the way to like shoot day as the gym teacher. Okay.
Gym teacher.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So apparently there's an alternate scene written for Breakfast Club where she is swimming in the high school pool without any clothes on and Vernon is spying on her.
Okay.
And I think John Hughes wisely said, we don't need this girl.
So did you Google this girl?
Yeah.
And?
She looks like a gym teacher. I mean, she's an attractive lady, but nothing to blow your socks off.
It's not like Police Academy where she jumps in the water.
That's right.
Okay, so that does it for casting. We will come back to you next week with next year, as it turns out, right?
Gosh, I guess that's right.
Yeah, next year with casting for St. Elmo's Fire. We'll talk about tidbits. We'll talk a little bit about St. Elmo's Fire theme. Won't talk about Man in Motion, but we may talk a little bit about the theme and David Foster. And then we will give you our final take on, if there's any doubt,
as which one is better.
Which one of these two movies
Which
is
one
better?
of these legitimate choices is the best?
Guys, thank you so much for staying with us through however long you've been through the end of 2025. We can't wait to see you next year, and we love you all. Have a great new year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain.
And an athlete.
And a basket case.
A princess.
And a criminal.
Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.
Don't